evening.
From News 3 Now, this is breaking news.
Good evening and welcome to News 3 Now. We are bringing you breaking news right now in Madison.
Rescue efforts are underway on Lake Mendota. Our Kyle Pozorski joins us live with the latest information that we know right now. Kyle?
Yeah, like you guys said, I'm out here at Warner Park. This is the east side of Lake Mendota. We heard about a lake rescue that was happening. We were out there just a half an hour ago near Meadow Ridge Park that is on the northern side of Lake Mendota. From where I'm standing, we're kind of near Warner Park. Warner Park Beach is where we specifically are at here at the time. We heard about this call. It came in at around 3:17. A family was reportedly on a boat when two adults reportedly went under the water. A child was also reported in the water at that time. Now, we did also hear from an MFD spokesperson that the mother and all children were accounted for as of 3:45. However, crews were still searching for the father. Like I said, about a half an hour ago, we were out on the north side of the lake, and it seemed as though the active situation really wrapped up. There were about 3 police and fire boats that were out there at the time that seemed to be making their way south. We thought they would come here to Warner Park. They're not here at this time. So we don't know at this time if they have, in fact, found the father or not at this point. We're going to try to get that update as soon as we can get it to you. Again, coming live from Warner Park Beach, I'm Kyle Pozorski, News 3 Now.
All right, Kyle, thank you. Now let's turn to weather, where we have already really started to feel the humidity turn up out there a bit.
Meteorologist Jacob Montesano is here in the studio. Jacob?
Yeah, temperatures right now in the middle to upper 80s for a lot of the region. But again, these are just the actual temperatures. The heat index values are in the lower 90s for a lot of us, in some cases in the middle 90s, and it's only going to get worse for tomorrow. Tomorrow we have an alert day in the forecast due to those high temperatures. Heat index values likely to get near 100, if not close to 105 at times. Now, we are going to see sunny skies in the afternoon, which will help fuel these warm temperatures, but we do have a chance of some storms late tonight into tomorrow morning, but only for parts of the area. Looking at the forecast, that rain won't move into our area until around 2 to 4 a.m., but throughout the morning, it'll push across the northern portion of our area. Really, areas far to the west and to the north of Madison will be the only locations that see this rainfall. Madison and areas south, unlikely to see the rain, but those of you that do see the thunderstorms could see some minor severe weather with it, with strong winds really being the only hazard. But that's going to clear out by around noon, and then for the afternoon hours, we're going to see plenty of sunshine with some strong winds as well, which will really help fuel those temperatures. Actual temperatures likely to get into the 90s, but those heat index values, as I mentioned, near 100. So I'll continue talking more about the heat and show you a few other chances of rainfall this week coming up a bit later.
All right, Jacob, thank you. And with the dangerous heat levels, the city of Fitchburg is setting up some cooling resources. The Fitchburg Senior Center and City Hall are both on Lacey Road, and they'll both be open from 8 to 4. The public library will be open from 9 to 8, and they are all being designated as cooling sites. You can find more cooling resources on channel3000.com or your local community's website.
One person injured after a shooting on Madison's northeast side. It happened about 4 this morning on Schlimgen Avenue. That is just a few blocks southwest of the Dane County Regional Airport. Police initially responded to multiple people reporting shots fired. When officers got on scene, they found a person with gunshot wounds and were taken to the hospital. The condition of the victim is unclear at this time.
Madison police also say a robbery was reported at a 24-hour McDonald's on East Washington Avenue. That happened around 2:30 this morning. An officer was in the area and spoke to a person who saw the robbery. Police have not given out any more details yet about this incident.
In Fitchburg, officials say that a woman died after an apartment fire. It happened last night about 6 p.m. on Pheasant Ridge Trail, just north of the Doxa Church. When fire crews arrived, they saw smoke coming from the apartment, and they did find fire in the kitchen. A woman was found and rescued from that apartment, but she later died from injuries suffered in the fire at a nearby hospital. No other units were damaged. The state fire marshal, the office there, along with the Fitchburg Fire Department, are now investigating.
The city of Fitchburg released a survey earlier this month asking for feedback from residents about housing in that community.
News 3 Now's Jalen Banks caught up with residents on this survey and their thoughts about it. He joins us now in studio. Jalen?
Eric and Susan, the video playing behind me is the Terravasa neighborhood, and as you can see, there's a lot going on because the neighborhood is still growing. I spoke with some of the city's residents on Fitchburg's housing and its growth. To help the city make more informed housing decisions, the city of Fitchburg sent out a survey to its residents with 3 goals in mind: seeing what types of housing is needed for current and future residents, identifying redevelopment opportunities, and creating a source of strategies and funding sources for housing projects.
There's a lot of construction always, which is good because a lot of the roads get to be really busy around this time, or especially around the Beltline. My goal is to stay in Madison area, and I wouldn't mind staying in Fitchburg just because it's a good area. There's not a lot of issues, really.
In a previous interview with our station, City of Fitchburg Community Development Planner Brad Sipple said the city's population is expected to grow by 17,000 residents by 2050. And Dave Schradel, a Fitchburg resident, says the place he's called home for over 30 years is a lot different than when he first arrived.
When we moved to Fitchburg, it was a township, and then it became the city of Fitchburg, and then started to become a real city, even though there's no downtown Fitchburg. And I know there's a big development going on across here, but it sounds like what's planned for there will be a benefit.
Now myself and News 3 Now will continue to cover the city's housing developments as well as hear from its residents. And the survey for the Fitchburg residents closes on August 11th.
Jalen, thank you. The search for a missing La Crosse woman enters its 3rd day. Elliot Hines was last seen Sunday morning around 3 on Front Street South near the river crossing into La Crescent, Minnesota. Police have been using drones and dive teams to search the Mississippi River. Community volunteers have also joined efforts from Viterbo University. The woman's family is asking La Crosse residents to check home security footage and is asking everyone to keep their daughter in their thoughts.
I just want to say thank you to everyone who has come out to help us search for her and hung up flyers, all the volunteers. Viterbo's been really great supporting us. We'll take any prayers, any other volunteers that will come back tomorrow and help us pass up flyers. We'd be grateful. Thank you.
And her mother added she was last seen wearing a white or gray T-shirt and jean shorts. Anyone with information is asked to please call La Crosse Police.
Heavy metal icon Ozzy Osbourne has died at the age of 76. On social media, the British rocker's family said he died this morning surrounded by his loving family. A cause of death was not revealed. Osbourne launched his career as the frontman of the band that would become Black Sabbath back in 1968 and later went solo. Osbourne's passing comes just weeks after he performed with Black Sabbath in England in what was billed as his farewell show. Target is changing its price match policy. That policy let customers get a refund for the price difference of a product if they found it cheaper on Amazon, Walmart, or at another Target store within 14 days of purchase. But beginning next Monday, the price match will only be valid if customers find an item for a cheaper price at Target's stores or websites. The policy will no longer apply for price differences for items sold by Amazon and Walmart.
Madison Magazine's Restaurant Week is officially underway now through Friday. It's your chance to taste your way through Madison's culinary scene without breaking the bank. Participating spots are serving up 3-course dinners starting at just $30 and lunch options for only $20. If you're curious who's cooking, head over to channel3000.com for the full list of restaurants and menus. Well, as Eric was saying, you can already feel the warm-up has begun out there. Jacob has the full forecast next.
And the Packers get to open up practice tomorrow in all this heat. Our Channel 3000 Packers senior writer Jason Wilde will join us live from Titletown with a look ahead. Some things to watch as the green and gold open up training camp. On Wall Street, the Dow climbing a 179-point jump. The Nasdaq giving back Monday's gains with an 81-point dip. The S&P 500 adds about 4, and we'll be right back.
Are watching News 3 Now at 5.
Hard to believe we are just one day away from the green and gold opening up training camp, and our Packers senior writer Jason Wilde along with Andrew Banstro will be there as they get ready for the upcoming football season. And Jason is joining us now from Titletown. And Jason, before they hop on the kids' bikes and hopefully hydrate before a very warm start to camp, what is the vibe around this team as we get ready to dig in on the 2025 season?
Well, you know, Eric, the 2024 season had been over for 5 days, and Brian Gutekunst stepped to the podium, the general manager, and he said, this team has to have more urgency. It's time for it to compete for championships. Now's the time that journey starts. There's a lot of guys on this team with a lot to prove. the general manager and the head coach among them, as they only have this year and next year left on their contracts. So urgency is definitely the vibe.
And Lambeau Field, you know, it always seems it adds a few things for the fans every year, but the players, I understand, got a bit of an upgrade today at Lambeau Field. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, the players arrived today. Now, some of them had already come in. The quarterbacks, players coming off injuries, and rookies came in earlier in the week. But today was the reporting day for the full squad, and they arrived to find their brand new, refurbished, redesigned locker room. It's in the same location, but it's been expanded, and it's pretty fancy schmancy. I'm guessing that the guys were pretty excited about that. They certainly have pretty good digs now, but again, what matters most is how they play this season.
Yeah, I know you've spent a lot of time in that locker room through the years. So the big news yesterday was a big contract for right tackle Zach Tom. And I think when you look at this contract, which was, 4 years, $88 million or $90 million with the signing bonus, he gets a monster signing bonus. I was a bit surprised to see it's the biggest signing bonus ever, right, for an offensive lineman? Well, did that surprise you at all?
It did, and there were some concerns, right, during the offseason. Some of the coaches talked about Zach Tom having to compete for his starting job. I think he's won his starting job now. I think we can say that with 88 million reasons why. But they do have other things on their to-do list in terms of financial decisions. They have to figure out something with Elton Jenkins. He is not going to start camp participating. Whether they come to some sort of agreement or they just play hardball and make him play out his contract, we'll have to wait and see. And Quay Walker is another interesting player. There's been a few reports that the former 2022 first-round pick is in line for an extension as well. He's one of those guys, though, Eric, that has a lot to prove this season, so I'm not sure he'll have something in place before we start tomorrow.
All right. Well, Jason, you hydrate as well, okay? I know it's going to be a toasty one up there. Jason will be alongside Andrew Banster as we kick off our coverage of Packers training camp tomorrow live from Green Bay. Jason, as always, good to see you, good to talk to you, and thank you very much.
You too, buddy. Thanks.
Thank you, Jason. Boy, it's hard. I can't imagine.
Putting a helmet on and shoulder pads
in this heat. Oh, those poor guys. Plus, it's concerts on the square tomorrow, too. We're waiting to see if that's going to happen in the intense heat. So a lot going on weather-wise.
Yeah, and the weather's not really going to cooperate too much as we're going to have heat index values in the triple digits, at least close to 100. And in general, we're going to continue to see heat index values in the low 90s through early next week. Now, we are going to see a few chances of storms. We have a small chance of storms tomorrow, mainly for areas north of Madison, and then a better chance of some widespread storms once we get to Thursday afternoon. But we're going to start with those temperatures. Heat advisories in effect for the entire area from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Wednesday. So it is definitely going to be hot. Looking at the heat index forecast for your Wednesday, near, if not a little bit above 100 for much of the area. And even after Wednesday, we are going to see some very warm temperatures. So as we take a look at the heat index values for Thursday, they are going to be in the lower 90s, especially for Madison and areas to the east. Might get a little bit better for western counties as heat index values may only be in the upper 80s, which is still very warm. Friday, we may see a little bit of relief, still upper 80s, lower 90s. It's going to, again, a little bit better compared to Wednesday, but still very warm. And then as we head towards the weekend, we're going to continue to see these warm temperatures. And then for Sunday and Monday of next week, we may see them warm up a bit more compared to Thursday through Saturday, where we may see the heat index values back in the middle 90s. And then Monday of next week, we could see the triple digits return. Now, we don't have an alert in the forecast for Monday, at least not yet, simply because a lot could change between now and then. But it is looking like these hot temperatures are going to last through at least Sunday and Monday of next week. Now, as we talked about, concerts on the squares tomorrow, and because there are storms fairly likely during this time frame on Thursday, they're really trying to push for the concerts on square to happen tomorrow, but it is going to be warm if it does happen. Now, it's almost certainly going to be dry with plenty of sunshine, but those heat index values, again, they're going to be in the middle 90s during the start of the concert, but even towards the end, after the sun sets, they're still going to be upper 80s to lower 90s range. So definitely try and stick to shaded locations and certainly stay hydrated if you plan on attending. And if you have any elderly folks with you or you bring pets, definitely just keep an extra eye on them. They need plenty of water too, as we're talking about the pets. So looking at the storm chances, though, that's not going to impact Contra on the Square, but we are going to see some storms early in the day, and some of those storms could produce severe weather, as you can see, mostly for areas west and north of Madison, and areas south of Madison likely not even going to see rain at all, let alone severe weather. So the rain will begin moving into our area much later in the night, around 2 to 4 a.m., and then push across the northern portion of our area during the morning. Again, possibly bring in some severe weather, strong winds, the most likely hazard. But as we get towards the late morning and early afternoon, that will clear out. Then we're going to see plenty of sunshine for those afternoon hours. But as we get towards late Wednesday night, we're going to see more rain kind of start to move back into our area. And this is going to impact our region on Thursday. And we could see potentially 2 rounds of showers and storms Thursday. First round will be in the morning. The morning rainfall looks a little bit minor, but we could see some more strong storms during the afternoon hours. This round of precipitation will be a little bit more widespread and likely going to continue for the afternoon and evening hours for Thursday, as right now rain does look fairly likely during that time frame. It might last into Thursday night as well. So looking at the rain chances going forward, we're pretty much going to see a chance of rain just about every day, but it looks like Thursday and then Friday night into Saturday will be the best chances of rain for the rest of the week. But all of these rain chances are not really going to impact the temperatures too much. They'll dip a little bit compared to Wednesday for Thursday through Saturday. But as I mentioned, we could see the middle to upper 90-degree heat index values return for Sunday and Monday. And then finally, by the middle of next week, that's when we may start to see a little bit more relief in these temperatures. But for this week, expect hot temperatures pretty much every day, with tomorrow being the hottest.
All right, we will get ready for it. Jacob, thank you. 18 days after the flooding in Texas claimed more than 100 lives, the search to recover others still missing goes on. We'll have an update next at 5.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
The search continues after deadly flooding tore through Texas around the 4th of July.
The number of missing persons still stands at 101.
Operations are most prominent in Kerr County, where Karina Hollingsworth speaks with a man whose property has become a large part of the search.
The very first body, it was down here right at the bottom of this.
Mike Richards says it haunts him that he wasn't able to help the first victim on his property because there were signs he was still alive.
It was a man that he'd been bleeding, you know, and that just indicates to me that he was alive when he was here, you know, and I just, you know, I don't know if I could have saved him or not. I just would have liked to have had the opportunity to try.
While the images are burned in his memory, Richard says he feels it in his heart to push on to find others.
That's somebody's granddad was there, you know, somebody's dad, somebody's son. I mean, they mean a lot to people, you know. I just glad to bring closure for his family.
With the help of more than 200 volunteers, Richards was able to search almost every corner of his land.
One was found in a tree, and the rest of them were found by the river.
But there is one corner he says still needs to be searched.
One spot just right over there, and it's probably not, you know, maybe 50 by maybe 100 feet that's still concerning to me.
So is this area over here that's just weighing on your heart, where you think there may be someone over there resting?
Yeah.
Have you connected with any of the families?
No, I haven't. I hope to make a memorial one day and meet some of them.
Richard says he will continue to search his portion of the Guadalupe River for at least another week.
134 people have been reported dead so far. Now the Texas state legislature is working to prevent another tragedy like this. Ideas have been proposed from early warning systems, better communications, infrastructure, and resources for areas affected or likely to be affected by future floods.
And we'll get a final check on our weather when we come back.
The past half century, countless lives have been likely saved by one photograph. How? Our Eye on America has the story.
And the father of heavy metal, Ozzy Osbourne, has died at 76, just weeks after his farewell concert, remembering the Prince of Darkness. That's tonight on the CBS Evening News.
And then coming up tonight at 6, more nuclear power could be coming to Wisconsin. Our Will Keneally takes a look at who could be building it and the legislation that is letting it happen. That story and more in a half an hour on News 3 Now at 6.
Well, scientists say the Earth is spinning faster this summer, and that's making some days marginally shorter. Thursday, July 10th, was the shortest day of the year so far. Scientific data shows that day lasted less than 24 hours by 1.36 milliseconds. You probably noticed. The reasons for this are several, including the moon's gravitational pull and the influence of the Earth's liquid core. Some experts believe the phenomenon could eventually lead to a scenario similar to the Y2K problem, which threatened to bring modern civilization to a halt. Remember all that?
Oh, yes.
It didn't really turn out to be much, did it? Yeah, no. We were at the Rose Bowl that night. I remember that.
I'll never forget it.
For playing the next day. Jacob's final check on the heat and the forecast.
Yeah, it's going to be the hottest tomorrow, but pretty much every day this week and early next week will feature hot temperatures and high humidity values. We'll likely see heat index values in the lower 90s pretty much every day through next Monday. Might start to see some relief by the middle of next week. We'll also see a few chances of storms. Good chance of storm Thursday evening, could see some tomorrow morning, and then we'll continue to see the storm chances for Saturday and then for Monday and Tuesday of next week. So it's going to feel like July, even though it hasn't necessarily been that case the last week or so.
All right, Jacob, thank you. Thanks for watching at 5. Coming up next, the CBS Evening News. We'll be back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6.
You can always find us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000 Plus. Have a good night, everybody. See you at 6.